Congress was created, that was going to create a lot more work for the federal courts. So the idea was to create an intermediate system of appellate courts and have a justice assigned to each of those courts as a circuit justice. And that's basically the system we have today. Interestingly, the critics of that were, and this was the part of the debate for 100 years, was if we do that, then the Supreme Court justices are going to be living in an ivory tower in Washington, D.C. without any real awareness of what's going on in the rest of the country. And I don't know how we could have avoided ending circuit riding for Supreme Court justices. There's just no way to continue doing that practice. But you can decide for yourself whether the critics had something to their argument.
We got time for maybe one or two more quick questions, Rebecca, and then Baines.
Right.
There was some debate amongst the Supreme Court justices whether it was proper that a federal judge's life unemployment extend specifically to the State of the Union. What's your opinion on federal judges expressing, I know you can't express political beliefs as to an election, but right. I guess an involvement in a political event like that?
I think it has been a good thing historically to have representatives of all three branches of government sitting together at an official and dignified event like the State of the Union address. But I understand why some members of the court did not attend this year and why they have not attended on some other occasions, because in some ways I think the State of the Union has changed. And I do think that while it's important that we are accountable through a political process. That is, we are appointed to our offices through a political system, and I think that's as it should be, because we should be accountable to the people. We should be appointed by the President and confirmed by the Senate. I have no quarrel with that whatsoever. I fully support that. I do think, though, that once we become judges, we're removed from politics, we're removed from any kind of public role in support of politics, and that is as it should be. But I understand why some of them refrained from going to the State of the Union. I understand too why some still wanted to be there, and I think as a result of kind of that controversy last year, this maybe partly related to that controversy involving the judiciary, this was perhaps a more dignified and civil State of the Union, and I'm not trying to point fingers at either side in the Congress or the President or anything like that. Yes.
One more quick question.
Sorry.
As your term as Attorney General, what do you consider Alabama's Constitution to be effective? Our own state Constitution.
Well, is your question the entire Constitution, except for those portions that have been declared violative of the U.S. Constitution, is effective? But I guess the question that is often asked is, well, we have the longest Constitution in the world. You know, does Alabama need a reform of its Constitution? I would say Alabama could use reform of its Constitution. Does that mean that there ought to be a constitutional convention to rewrite the entire thing? I was always skeptical of that when I was Attorney General. I think that's a bit utopian. It's important to keep this in mind. No state constitution in the country is as short as the federal Constitution. The federal Constitution is far shorter. There's a reason for that. The federal Constitution enumerates what powers we want our central government to have. And the basic concept is you can do these things, federal government, but we don't want you to do anything else. Everything else is reserved to the states. Well, state constitutions end up being very different kinds of laws, because then they spell out, if you have all the other power that government can exercise, our state constitutions tend to say, well, then you can't do this, and you can't do this, and you can't do this, and they end up being far longer documents. Now, Alabama's is the longest in the world. So could it be reformed? Absolutely. Will it mean, though, that the Alabama Constitution will be anything like The federal Constitution? Absolutely not. No state constitution is. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Judge, we thank you for that very informative speech, and especially those of us that aren't in the legal industry and don't get the experience of either your classroom or your court. I found that personally very educational, and I think you can tell by the questions. There may be others out there. I don't know if your time allows, but maybe y'all could come up afterwards and ask Judge Pryor a couple more questions. In honor of you speaking today, we'd like to present you with this certificate. Donation has been made in your honor to our Ready to Read program, which we have placed a library in every second grade classroom in the Birmingham City School System, as well as our annual report from last year, which tells you a little bit more about our club. So thank you once again. We truly appreciate it. I hope everybody, sorry we ran a couple minutes late today. I felt like those were great questions everybody wanted to hear the answer to. Remember to purchase your gala tickets if you haven't done so already. You can do it at the sign-in table on your way out or on the members-only website. Happy hour next Tuesday. St. Martin's in the Pine later in the month. Sign up for kickball. Jeff Miller is looking for your name. See Sherelle if you want to sign up for the New Orleans convention. And if you have a chance, make sure to congratulate Andrew on his selection to be on the slate for next year's board. Hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, Mitch.
Hope to see
Appreciate
you on
it.
Tuesday.
I'll be there.
Right.
I'll be there.
Right.
I'll be there. My schedule, in case something pops up, I'll be there. We appreciate you coming.
Correct.
I was gonna say, I figured
Thank you, Richard. Appreciate it. Thank you for doing that.
whether I can make it, I'll do it. I'll always do it. It's a fun event. I'm gonna support you.
Mallory's great job. Mallory.
You have to. I just want to ask you this. You mentioned Jackson. Is there a possibility?
Is there a possibility here? Yeah, it's unlikely. I mean, I understand it was done some before. We've got to have this set up in Montgomery. He's going to have to really borrow space in the district court.
Just
Yeah, that could be the one. Hello, Leo. How are
The
you?
only reason I was allowed to drive to Montgomery is because I was sending a message to Sandy. That was why I got
You get
And also,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just a minute. You want to walk back together, or do you need to? All right, we'll walk back in just a second.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah, no, they told me about it. So, Pryor, return to Philly. I really enjoy hearing things. I work with attorneys and setting up their IT security.
Oh, yeah.
Collection. They really get to your world.
A lot of my clients are great clients. Yeah. Various. That's where I made my career really. Is boutique practice. That's good for a detailed background. Is Paul Toppins still teaching? You know Paul?
I don't. But I can't say I know everyone on the faculty.
He was at Johnson Park here, and he helped me about 10, 12 years ago. I'm an inventor, and I was just curious. He left Johnson Park to go teach.
It's good to meet you. Likewise.
Well, it's really good president.
They want
even still, I know your point. Like I'm sitting in a right. Right. I just want to say.